Hello, I'm Bryanna with Medicines for Humanity. At the end of Module 2 in our last series, we shared that children of mothers with untreated perinatal depression are 3 to 5 times more likely to face behavioral or learning challenges. That statistic reminds us why children's mental health deserves our focus. In this session, we'll explore what child mental health really means, how stress shapes a child's development, and how culture and family impact resilience. Childhood is the foundation for lifelong well being. Mental health isn't just about feeling good, it influences how the brain wires itself, how children learn, and how they relate to others. Studies show up to 50% of adult mental health conditions begin before age 14. That means early childhood and adolescence are critical windows for intervention. And to be clear, this is not about diagnosing children. It's about noticing patterns, supporting resilience, and knowing when to connect a child and family to more specialized care. Not all stress is harmful. Positive stress, like starting school, helps children adapt. Tolerable stress, such as losing a loved one or moving homes, can be overcome with strong caregiver support. But toxic stress, which happens when stress is chronic and no one steps in to buffer it, is damaging. Toxic stress disrupts brain and body systems, making it harder for children to focus, learn, or regulate their emotions. Children rarely say, "I'm depressed." Instead, they speak through the body and behavior. A child may complain of stomach aches, withdraw into silence, or lash out in anger. Cultural context matters too. In some communities, children may use song, poetry, or humor as coping mechanisms. In others, children may hide emotions to avoid worrying parents. Recognizing these signals through a cultural lens prevents us from misunderstanding or dismissing their pain. Mental health struggles don't appear out of nowhere. They're often shaped by a child's environment. Risk factors include poverty, hunger, exposure to violence or conflict, parental illness or trauma, separation from caregivers, and stigma. These do not guarantee a child will struggle, but they increase vulnerability. At the same time, protective factors like supportive caregivers, safe routines, and spiritual grounding can build resilience. One concept we need to understand is intergenerational trauma. Trauma doesn't stop with the person who experiences it. It can ripple into the next generation. If a parent is carrying unresolved trauma, it can shape how they respond to their child, sometimes with more stress, anger, or emotional distance. Even silence, when families avoid discussing painful events, can carry tension that children feel. This shows why healing caregivers and communities is so important for healing children. Let's look more closely at toxic stress. It impacts 3 major areas: the brain, making it harder to learn, concentrate, or remember; the body, stress hormones trigger physical complaints like headaches, stomach aches, and disrupted sleep; and emotions. Children may become anxious, angry, or withdrawn. These reactions are not bad behavior. They're the body's cry for help. Stress looks different depending on a child's age. Young children may regress, bedwetting, thumb sucking, refusing to separate from a caregiver. School-age children may act out with aggression, complain of headaches, or struggle to learn. Adolescents may withdraw, take risks, or express hopelessness. Understanding age patterns helps us tailor support. For example, young children need stable routines. School-age children benefit from play and expression, and adolescents need safe mentors and safe spaces to talk. Let's look at Samuel. Samuel is 10. After displacement, he complains daily of headaches, fights at school, and clings to his grandmother at night. If adults only respond with discipline, Samuel's pain goes unseen. But if we recognize his symptoms as communication, his body saying, "I'm not okay," we can support him with consistent care, emotional outlets, and reassurance. What signal in Samuel's story stands out most to you? Did you know early relationships literally shape the brain? Neuroscience shows that eye contact, soothing, and playful exchanges build neural pathways for resilience. Neglect or chronic stress interrupts this process. Even in low resource settings, simple interactions like singing, playing, and listening are powerful brain builders. So let's try and test this idea together. I'm going to read a situation and you'll let me know if it's positive, tolerable, or toxic. First day at school. Positive, yes. How about moving after a flood? Tolerable. This is serious, but it's manageable with support. And lastly, witnessing repeated violence. This is toxic stress. It overwhelms children without support. This simple sorting helps us quickly categorize stress levels and identify when intervention is needed. I want you to pause and think. In your community, how do children express distress? Do they become silent, act out, or turn to song and play? Noticing these cultural patterns allows us to respond with empathy instead of mislabeling their behavior. Today, we laid the foundation: stress types, cultural expressions, intergenerational trauma, risk factors, and signs across ages. In the next module, we'll shift from understanding to action, strategies and tools for building resilience in children. I'll see you then.